Welcome to part 2 of Beware the Siren's Call, chapter 8 of a Thora Silentblade tale. This part of the mission was one Thora would happily hang back from. With a few dwarven emissaries from the mine in tow, the soldier happily took on the role of honor guard and allowed Allendale and Dwayne to do the talking. Negotiation was not the dwarf's strong suit. "Do you think it's safe?" inquired one of the miners, whispering in Dwarven. He was clearly nervous about entering a gnoll camp where they would be likely outnumbered and an easy snag. "Do not worry, Saman," Thor comforted, laying a hand upon the miner's shoulder. "While I aim to keep these blades sheathed, you will be under our protection the entire time." Ahead of them, the wizard and bard had just gotten within shouting distance of the western gate. Spears were planted in the ground, animal heads upon them as a menacing warning to those who would dare come forward. The strong scent of hide and leather drifted on the chill night wind as they approached, combined with the welcoming scent of burning fire pits. In the darkness before them stood a single young gnoll, smaller than those they had encountered in the mines, shivering in a large cloak. He shouted something as Dwayne and Allendale approached, trying his best to appear threatening. But Thor couldn't quite make out the words. While the dwarves couldn't understand the gnoll, Thor could tell from the stance and the way the guard held their pike that this young gnoll had not been in many battles before. There was no immediate danger here. Somehow, Allendale and Dwayne were able to talk their way into having a meeting with the leader of the tribe. The gnoll disappeared for a moment, shouting something back into the camp. A few minutes later, a figure in robes approached the gateway, a regal nature in her movements. She held her head proudly, with a sense of power about her, but Thor could tell by her body language that she held no hostility towards them. There was a calmness to her presence that immediately put others at ease. It seemed their visit was not entirely unexpected. Solemnly, Dwayne returned the necklaces of the fallen gnoll warriors, as Allendale explained what had happened. "I see you understand," the matriarch said with great sadness in her voice. "The poor fools. Jumani has played her tricks on us once again." Welcoming them into the camp, the matriarch walked with them, explaining the unfortunate series of events that occurred. Around the camp were many children and families, peeking out from behind tents at the newcomers. There was worry, but also curiosity. "Every few months, Jumani fills with rage and casts her blood light upon us," the matriarch began, pointing towards the orange-tinted moon. "Our blood pact drives our males to great power, but also great carelessness. To keep the women and children safe during this time, the men are brought here." The matriarch gestured towards an arena-like pit in the center of the camp. Blood was spattered upon the ground and on the walls. Several corpses of devoured animals lay on the surface of the arena. In this place, they accept Jumani's power and battle to be crowned a victor, feasting on a great animal as their prize. In this way, we honor our blood pact. It was an unfortunate time for your friend to arrive. The gnoll leader, who went by the given name Matriarch, explained how the dwarf Mordrin had arrived in the night, drunkenly rambling about animal gifts and interrupting a blood moon ceremony. The gnolls tried to get the inebriated miner to leave, but he forced his way in, screaming about the disgusting nature of their rituals, before vomiting on their war chief. It was a series of unfortunate events, concluded the matriarch, as she led them to the large temple tent that Thora had spied earlier. There Mordrin lay, the flowers still on his body. "We have prayed for his soul, that his journey be swift and safe." Thora slowly walked forward with the miners, and they lifted Mordrin upon their shoulders, carrying him out to the wagon, while Dwayne and Allendale completed the attempt at negotiations with the matriarch. It seemed the gnoll leader was rather impressed that Wilted Gulch was now under the lead of a matriarch such as herself. As they were leaving the tent, Thor could swear they had heard the wizard talking about putting up signage. But that couldn't have been correct. Thora must have misheard,